The reduction of China's workforce will slow down the global economy. China's large, working-age population has been the driving force behind the global economy, providing cheap labor to factories exporting goods worldwide, and positioning China as a global manufacturing powerhouse. However, the predictions that China would surpass the United States as the world's largest economy are now threatened by its declining birth rate. Welcome to why China's economy will collapse. In January, China announced that the country's population had decreased for the first time in 6 decades. According to data published by the National Bureau of Statistics, the country's population decreased by approximately 850,000 people in 2022, indicating that China would become the second most populous country this year, yielding the top spot to India. This 850,000 person decline is the largest population decline since 1961, when China lost nearly 7 million inhabitants due to the Great Famine. The main reason today, though, for the population decrease is the one-child policy implemented from 1979 to 2015. And although the government has allowed up to 3 children since 2021 and continues to announce incentives for couples to have children, the high cost of education and upbringing has discouraged many Chinese from expanding their families. A recent survey revealed that over 50% of young people do not want to have more than one child, and this goes on to in part explain the country's reported fertility rate of 1.3 children per woman, well below the 2.1 replacement level needed to maintain a stable population. Demographers predict that these factors and figures could have a significant impact on the economic growth of the Asian giant, and may even cause its economy to stagnate in the long term. But what exactly is happening to the economy then? Well, let's take a look. Analysts believe that this historic decline in 2022 will mark the beginning of a long-term downward trend in population, since the proportion of the working-age population has already fallen to 69% from over 73% a decade ago. This is likely to have a significant impact on the country's economic growth. In the long run, an aging workforce and a declining young population will create a labor shortage in Chinese factories, which will increase production costs and therefore prices for consumers overseas, like in the United States, that heavily rely on Chinese imports. Facing rising labor costs in China, many companies have already relocated their manufacturing operations to lower-wage countries, such as Vietnam and Mexico. Some companies have done this for geopolitical reasons as well. Another long-term effect is that as the working-age population decreases, the government may struggle to fund a large aging population living longer. According to the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, it is projected that the country's main pension fund will run out of money by 2035. In the long term, the sharply declining birth rate poses a major threat to China's real estate sector, which accounts for about a quarter of the country's economic output. You see, as the population decreases, the demand for housing logically decreases as well, at least in the long term. However, there are ways to counteract this demographic crisis, and one of those solutions is through artificial intelligence and robotics. And although it is true that the advent of robotics, automation, and AI has already begun to transform the employment landscape in multiple sectors now, at best, this will postpone China's problems, but won't make its economy more competitive, as all other major economies will also benefit from new AI technologies. Another way to resolve the problem of a rapidly shrinking labor force would be to import labor through immigration. But how feasible is that in China? Let's see. Because while countries like Germany and Italy need around 400,000 immigrants per year to replace their labor population deficit, China's numbers are huge. Consider that its working age population has decreased by about 2 million per year in the past 5 years. And we're still here in the graph. Things haven't begun reducing at a quick rate yet. To give you some perspective on the situation, if China's population declines at a similar rate to Italy's, then the decline in employment during the last 5-year period would almost be equal to the entire workforce of Germany, which was around 45 million people in 2022. So, compared to other countries that also are seeking migrants to counteract their population crisis, China would have a huge task, as it needs many more millions of people, potentially 5 to 8 million per year. And attracting them is not so straightforward, especially since China offers lower wages compared to almost all advanced economies, including the German and Italian economies. And that just might be what explains why China's economy will collapse. Hey everyone, if you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit like and comment the $ symbol below. Commenting really helps the channel. Let me know in the comment section as well how you think China's economy will cope with its demographic challenge. Otherwise, take care. Bye.